Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and hopefully I'm actually going to spool down a little bit because I'm not sure how loud that trainer is on the lav microphone. Hopefully you can hear me. You're watching part 2 of the 3D fitment series here at Trek Bicycle Store of West Phoenix. I'm here with Glenn, who is the Fit Master. I'm on Jenny. You guys know her. You should know her, especially those who've been following me for the last year. And we're doing a fitment now. I'm going to have a card to episode 1 up top so you can see us do the lower half, and we've already started coming into the second half, and that was my mistake. I was so zealous about getting the fitment. I didn't stop it when we moved to the handlebars, but definitely watch that one. And now we're at the point of the handlebars where we've actually adjusted the handlebar back 2 centimeters.
Yep.
And what a difference that has made. Day and night. I can't wait to get, I thought about going for a nice trail ride tomorrow. I might be on the road tomorrow, breaking Jenny in again. So, but yeah, so that's where we're at. So Glenn, so where do we go from here? So now we got the handlebars dialed in. They feel comfortable. I mean, even up here on the hoods.
Absolutely.
Not even just back here where I have that secondary grip if I was riding, but up here in the hoods, it feels like a completely different bike, just that 2 centimeters. So where do we go from here?
Very good. So next thing, just want to make sure that everything is even from left to right.
Okay.
So I would just have you, as you're pedaling, if you could pay attention to if you feel more pressure on the right hand, on the left hand.
Okay.
Is there anything there? And then we want to make sure that we also have the pressure as even as possible across your palm. We don't want all of the pressure falling on the inside or the outside. Just want to, basically everything with the fit is all about balance. Balancing your weight on there, getting you in a position where you're both going to be efficient and comfortable. So
yeah.
that would be next.
Okay. Yeah, I know. At this point, everything does seem good. I could feel that pressure cut my hand equilaterally, which is nice. It feels like I have less pressure in that ditch point, or a lot of times that's where I would start to feel that aggravation, that numbness really start when it starts to set in the most. And I almost think that now, with it repositioned the way it is, if that'll help with the inflammation that causes that numbness through that radial nerve coming back through that cervical spine area. So, but yeah, no, it really does feel good.
Excellent. Yeah, I think we're in a much more neutral position than we started out in. And it looked like that's kind of where you were trying to get yourself anyways, even if it was like a sort of an unconscious thing.
Yeah.
To kind of choke back further on that bar. So, yeah, everything's looking good there. So yeah, if everything feels even across your palms and from left to right, then I am happy with that. I don't think we need to bring you down any more aggressively for the kind of riding you're going to be doing. Also, don't really need to bring you any higher. In general, you don't going above like 7 degrees on a stock bike. You're getting into the territory of where you're going to really start messing with the handling of the bike.
Right.
That's something in some cases you have to do just so that someone can ride a bike. But in your instance, if it's not necessary, then I'd like to stay away from that. So if you can, so the bike handles basically the way that it was designed to. So
yeah,
that looks good. All right. So next thing I would want to start on then, if you're comfortable with everything on the a drop bar, or in the case of a TT bike, a base bar, we can start moving to the actual Aero Bar here.
Yeah, let's do that.
Dialed in. So cool. So I'll have you just hop onto the Aero Bar. Definitely going to try to flatten that out if I can.
This feels completely different, awkward now from what it used to. Well, in that, like I said, I had actually raised this up for being on the trainer. But even if we were to flatten this back out where it was, I can already tell my forearm positioning is going to be different just from all the other adjustments we made. And
absolutely.
Being this way, now I can feel the nose of the saddle up in my junk.
Gotcha.
So
we'll do what we can to solve that part then.
Right.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah, and definitely one thing I'll see a lot on both Aero Bars and even just on a road bike with a drop bar. Oftentimes, if you are too far out, it will feel a little bit better to rotate the bar further back. That's not the best way to do it if you can get the reach correct. Obviously, that's what we'd love. That's what we'd like. It's okay to have a little bit of a roll, but yeah, if we can flatten this out a bit and still have you in a comfortable position.
Yeah, or maybe even bring
get that
back just a little bit. It almost seems like that would be the problem. Like if it was just a hair flatter and back, it would probably.
Yeah, so
and I could be completely wrong.
I'm going to start just by flattening it out.
Cool.
You do have the ergo bend in here, so I'm going to start with this section of the bar just parallel with the ground. We'll see how that feels. If we need to pull the actual bar further back, we can.
Okay.
But yeah, that'll be our starting point. Don't want to throw too many variables into it at once.
Little increments, guys.
Yep.
So the first time Brandon saw me do an adjustment on my bike was here in a toolbox topic. I thought he was gonna wet himself. He's like, dude, like little tiny adjustments. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
All right, we can torque those down. Of course, it's always best to use a torque wrench. On this handlebar, it's not as crucial since it is aluminum, but still important. If you're ever on a carbon handlebar with a clip-on,
Definitely torque.
Definitely always use a torque wrench, go evenly, and also make sure that it is a bar that is safe to be clamped on. Some are not designed for that, or will have a slight arrow shape or bend to them that will cause damage.
Yeah, so if you guys were wondering what my original plan for Jenny was, and it's kind of funny because, and again, I wish I had like a different road bike I could throw on the trainer. After we got the fitment done and everything like that, we were going to completely, change out the cockpit. And so like the carbon bars and the drop bars and everything like that I was seeing had like an Aero fin grip. So it was like, dude, how am I supposed to clip a set of Aero bars onto there?
Yep.
So then instead of turning into like doing carbon bar and a clip on, it started doing like a one piece, where it was like a $1,200 bar. Which is absolutely ridiculous, dude, because again, I don't triathlon, so, but this is me. My kids are growing. I got nothing else to do. Make these videos and share them with you and spend my money on bike parts, so.
Keeps me employed.
Right? Dude, my poor thing is I'm doing yoga again.
Right. Cool. So since you're not pedaling anyways now, we'll have you do that T-pose again. See if we're missing anything. Doesn't look like we are. There we go. Back to normal. Cool. You can go ahead and hop on onto the pedals there and see where we're at. So definitely overextended, what I can see there, and from what I'm seeing here as well. So for that, I'm going to want to bring both the pads back if I can, and the actual bars themselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got quite a bit of room there that we're going to need to move.
So I'm going to actually unclip and get
we'll
out of your way for you.
Have you hop off there. Luckily, we are at about as far out as the bars go right now, so we got plenty of adjustment.
Oh, yeah. All right, so you can see Glenn was just adjusting the bars, and you can kind of use this camera, get a better angle than the one over there on the tripod. And what we're doing now is we're adjusting the Aero bars back, as well as the forearm rests back. We've already made adjustments on the handlebar itself. Brought the handlebar back 2 centimeters, which made a huge difference. But now with the Aero bars being in a flat position, I am horribly overextended. So that's why we are bringing those back to bring my extension back in line. And yeah, and then so once he's done doing that, get back on the bike, we'll pedal, we'll see what the computer screen says. As you can see right now, my my avatar is doing some jujitsu / yoga. But yeah, so that's where we're at, guys, and we're getting there. It's process.
And as a general rule of thumb, you can always adjust, fore or aft from here, but want to see your arm here very close to the same angle as the head tube angle and fork.
Yeah, right off the bat, I
I
can tell the difference on that. That's nice.
Yeah, it looks like you may just want to bring the bars a tad closer in, but we are very close now where we need to be. Looks like, and then we want to have the pads back pretty much as far as they can go without causing any contact or any issue with the elbow.
Right.
So they're giving you the most support possible. Obviously, you don't want that bumping into your elbow as you move around. So that part looks good, but yeah, I do want to try to bring you in a little bit closer, see if that feels any better for you. But
okay,
so you're within an acceptable range now.
Right.
So, all right, so I'm just gonna slip those in. You can hop off or stay on the bike. This will be a quicker adjustment.
Okay.
All right, we'll try that out, and we'll determine whether or not we need to move pads.
Cool. Ah, even better.
Excellent.
Again, that was one of those instant gratification. Can immediately feel it. So now I would initially say, guys, that I feel kind of more, I don't want to say cramped because it's not the right word, but I feel more compact. But the way my body's positioned, the mechanics, this feels more natural. It feels awkward, but it does feel better. There's a comfort level that's instantaneous.
Right.
Now, the problem I have with my knee kicking in my guts because I'm a fat fucker and I just need to lose weight. So, here's the moral of that story. But the fitment itself, from what last time I rode it to right now, it's completely different.
Excellent.
For the better. So this feels great.
Very good. And it looks pretty good where the pads are. Do you have any discomfort on the pad itself?
None.
Cool. And even if it's not discomfort, do you feel pressure from like the edge of the pad, especially on the outside, or that feels good?
Nope.
Okay. Very good.
No, I don't feel like I'm reaching out too far. I don't feel like before. I felt like I'd have to constantly almost adjust to keep myself in this position. It was almost like I was sliding forward, and I'd have to scooch myself back.
Gotcha.
To feel in a better position.
Makes sense. All right.
But now it's just natural. It's there.
Cool. And that's good. Yeah, if we were able to get you with a nice parallel to the ground, flat main section of the bar anyway. So that looks good. Yeah, and then pretty much the only reason you would ever want to go up any higher than this is if you almost feel like you're pulling on it, if there's too much pressure right here on the pad, and it's not due to just your overall posture on the bike, not due to just being too aggressive, then in some cases you'll put just a slight angle on that to help even out the pressure.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't sound like that's a problem for you.
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, that is looking real good. Cool. Yeah, pad looks good, and don't want to bring you much closer back. You may end up in a position where you start to kind of knee yourself.
Yeah. Well, this feels good, and I don't feel pressure on the nose of the saddle either.
Excellent.
And my junk. It's like it feels like it did before.
Right.
So.
But with the closer reach.
Yeah.
Very good. That was going to be my next question. So, besides that, any other pressure that's come up on the saddle? Any issues there?
Nope.
Feels good still. Very good. Cool. I'm going to have you hop off the Aero Bars real quick. Just want to see how everything looks down in the drops. Make sure that you don't have any pressure there.
Even that feels more relaxed.
Excellent. Always good when you can actually use the drops. Like a lot of people using them for the first time after they've been fit.
Yeah. I hated using the drops. I would use them just to change up the grip.
Right. Keep you from getting fatigued in one position.
Yeah.
But now that can be a more stable position, if you ever threw the 2-inch tires back on here and start riding on some single track.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome to be able to get down there. But that is looking good. Cool. And pressure and everything. Oh yeah, when you were up in the Aero Bars, pressure and everything side to side felt even too?
Equal. Yep.
Very good. All right. Do you have any other any concerns, any questions about the upper half of your body right now?
No.
All right, cool. Everything's looking good on the computer. Everything's looking good in real life. So
sweet.
At this point, I just want to double check that knee over pedal spindle measurement and the angle of your knee. If everything looks within range there, then I think we're
good to go.
In a good spot.
Cool. All right.
Excellent. All right. Oh,
yeah, you got
already right here.
There. Yeah.
Perfect. So we'll have you spin up again. First, I'm going to do is the angle of your knee. So we'll stop you at the lowest point in the pedal stroke. Ready, slowing and stopping. Pop that off. About a 34 degree, that looks good. So I'm not seeing you rocking on the saddle. Very close to the center. And we'll have you spin up again. And this time we'll be stopping you both crank arms level, right foot forward. Get ready, slowing and stopping. Right there.
Ridiculous. Guys, seriously.
On the dot.
Before it was behind the spindle, after it was in front of the spindle, and now that all fitments are done, it is even with the spindle. So that's spooky scary. And again, one adjustment affects another adjustment. And when I said that the adjustments on the bars were that instant gratification, it's because it was bringing everything together. So if that's not validation of the process, I don't know what is. But yeah, that was awesome.
Excellent. Cool. Did you have any last concerns? Anything off the top of your head?
Nope.
All right. Cool. I think we're in a good spot then.
Cool.
You are all good to hop on off the bike then, and
Sweet.
Can start taking some measurements so we know where we're at, and you'll have information for the future as well.
Cool. So what we're going to do right now, guys, you just heard Glenn. So he's going to take some measurements. He's going to write everything down. And again, just so you guys don't get the wrong impression, it's not like, oh, now you're obligated to buy all this shit. No. It's for future reference, okay? And of course, I'm going to inquire what they might have here today in stock, just so we could do it, so that way we're not putting her back the way she was. And then I ride her and I'm like, oh man. So, you know, of course I'm going to inquire about that. But these are just options, so you know down the road. And of course, you can talk with your local bike shop if they do the fitments there. If not, you could talk, you know, to the guys here at Trek and ask, what's more important? Should I replace the saddle first and make these adjustments first? Or was it something up front in the cockpit area that needed adjustment more severe that's going to make the biggest difference? And then chunk it out a little bit at a time. So while Glenn's doing all those measurements and writing that stuff down, I'm going to get out of the monkey suit and get dressed again. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do the summary. We'll come back and do that. I've got a few more questions to ask Glenn that don't, you know, I don't want us to have to be on the bike on that. And then, yeah, we'll do the wrap up. So we'll be right back. Cool.
Right.
All right, everybody, so the fitment's done. As you can see, I'm back in my regular clothes. Glenn's standing next to me here. He took some final measurements, which he put into the report. Now, if I would have been thinking ahead, okay, and not with my stomach, because the inner fat kid needs to eat. Dude, I haven't eaten since 8 o'clock this morning, guys, and right now it's 2:30, so just to show you the process this is. I would have, but all you're going to see is the printout, okay, and the notes that he took on the screen and everything. So it was nothing that I would say is super important or anything.
Right.
But it gives you a chance for the final measurements to put on there, like we were talking about. And so what we were discussing is, hey, do you have, you know, the new stem on there? And obviously I'm just going to leave the seat on there because that's the right one. They have that one in stock. We're just going to check in the back for the stem and those types of things. Now, if you're in the position where, you know, you're spending your money on the fitment itself and you have to wait on that stuff, that's where it's going to be in those notes. And based on those notes, and you can make calculations and everything, you can see, you know, what's going to work for different bikes. And we talked a little bit about that too, where these fittings or these sizes and the fitment and everything will translate to another road bike easily. A time trial bike, whatever the case may be. But a mountain bike, there is going to be
absolutely
a little bit of a curve there. Hey, these are kind of like the base, and then from here we're going to have to do adjustments. Where on a Madone, you can almost dial that Madone right in. Out of the gate, there's the 56 I want, and you guys just adjust it for me and everything like that. One of the benefits of the fitment itself. Now, let's talk about pricing, because people are going to be down in the comments. We might as well get it out of the way. This full 3-dimensional fitment that we just did, what's the price tag on that?
So adding on the TT bar, that would normally be $400.
Okay.
Or sorry, my mistake. $350 on that one.
Okay.
Would normally be basically $50 less on any fit if we were to be doing a fit with just a road handlebar, no extension, no TT bar. So that, of course, as we saw in the video, adds on quite a bit of time at the end.
Absolutely.
Measurements we wouldn't otherwise do.
Now, as far as your regular fit and your 2-dimensional fit, and I'm about to sneeze, and maybe I'm not, where do we come in at that for just your basic fitment and then your 2-dimensional fit? What would those prices be?
So basic one, you'd be looking at $150. The 2D fit, that would bump you up an additional $50 to $200. And then either of those, you can add $50 on, just like with the 3D. With any of them, it's an additional $50 to add on an Aero Bar. Or if you're just on a full-on time trial or triathlon bike, same deal. It's just additional measurements we wouldn't otherwise do.
Okay. So, and I really want to emphasize to you guys, and you know, some of you might be thinking, oh my gosh, that's really expensive or anything like that. Did you watch part 1? Okay. And if you didn't, I'm going to have a card up there for you guys to watch part 1 again. There was a lot that went into this, guys. You know, the sensors and everything like that, just the computational power, the program, the software and everything like that. This is not, you know, again, the 5-minute bike fitment that you saw on YouTube. Lean your bike up against a fence post, which I've seen that a couple times and everything. Guys, this is the real deal, and I'm telling you right now, the way the bike felt, before when I brought in, I thought was pretty good. The way it feels now, are you kidding me? Okay, so there's a huge difference, and there's a reason why it costs so much. It's the time, it's the effort, it's the precise, accurate measurements that it produces for that bike fitment and everything like that, which I think, again, it's money well spent, because now any bike that I were to purchase, I could take those measurements and go along with. And again, so when I dial in the final fit on the Salsa, but it still gives us a good base.
Yeah, it gives us some information, especially flexibility assessments, things like that. Those things can be directly translated, and then at that point, if you're having a fit done on a mountain bike or something that's a vastly different style, a more aggressive setup, we can use all of your flexibility numbers, and we can use some of the numbers off of the bike, at least to give us a starting point. Going with a Madone, you might set yourself up a little bit more aggressively. You're going to be leaning down a little bit further. You want a more aero position. We can still use the numbers for your reach to get us very close, and then we can kind of fine tune from there and dial in your position. But it gets us most of the way there.
Okay. Now, and I'm not sure somebody will ask, but in case somebody does, let's go ahead and cover it now, or I can answer down in the comments. Can someone do this exact same fitment with a mountain bike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So there's no, you could say, hey, I'm not a roadie, but I want to do this fitment with a mountain bike.
Absolutely.
You could do it with a mountain bike. Okay.
I have been seeing a lot more of that lately. A lot more people interested in being fit on their mountain bikes. Yeah. There is more personal preference and your style of riding, the kind of trails that you're riding on that will come into play when selecting like your bar width, things like that.
Right.
But then, of course, that always, once you have those things figured out, or we can kind of talk about those things during a fitting, the kind of riding you plan on doing, I can make suggestions based on what you're looking to do with the bike, and then we can dial in your fit position from there. So as far as pricing, the methodology, everything's pretty much the same.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. That's it. I thought it was going to be 3 parts. We actually did it in 2 because I forgot to cut the first one where it should have been cut. But nonetheless, if you made it this far, as always, we thank you. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell notification icon. This way, you're not only going to help out the video and the channel, you're going to be kept informed of all our new videos. Be one of the cool kids. There's going to be some links down below. I'd like you to check those out. The first one's going to be for Czech Bicycle Store of West Phoenix, where the cool kids hang out, and me. Okay. If you have any questions about what you've seen today and you don't want to comment, but you'd rather call, follow that link, give these guys a call. They'll be more than happy to help you out. And the next link is going to be for Copper State Bike and Hike. So if you'd like to rent a bike, demo a bike, you come down a trek, you see a bike, man, they'll take care of you. They also provide carriers, so you can get a nice little package deal for the weekend. Go out, ride the trail, ride the road, see what you think, and that way you'll have a better feel for what you're picking out. We know bikes are expensive. We say that they're inexpensive, some of them, but still inexpensive to us, a couple, $2,000, $3,000. That's no small change. Make sure of your purchase, give them a call. They'll do what they can to take care of you. Our social media links down below as well. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you want to keep up on the day-to-day occurrences with Get Out Arizona, that's where you're going to do it. The rest of the links down below, guys, some of those might be affiliate links, but it's for stuff that we use, not only to film, but some bike gear and equipment that we believe in, that we use day in and day out. If you click one of those links, we may receive a small commission. Then again, we may not. But if we do, we thank you for using those links because it helps out with gas money, park passes, and coffee, which is, I think, the most important part of that.
Oh, yeah.
I can always sneak into a regional park, but the coffee is important. So, all right, guys, what do we always say? Be kind to yourself and others. Be amazing stewards out on that trail. And we have to ask, what are you waiting for? Get out Arizona. We will see you on that next adventure. Glenn, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it. Hopefully you come back on another Toolbox topic. If you'd like, we'd love to have you. So, because Kale just sometimes, and why it's all me and Wyatt and everything. And but who can replace Brandon? The Brad Pitt ass stump double? No, that's something that Brandon and I have been talking about for a while. All right, guys, we digress. Seriously. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.